Hey everyone, Mari-Jo Qualey here. I'm an author, writer, director, and producer. I have a bachelor's degree in science, hundreds of education credits in health and wellness, and I was the original treatment writer for the fitness television show Sweat Inc., starring Jillian Michaels. I also hold a diploma with highest honors in sex and drug counseling. Today we are going to talk about how to be pre-active, proactive, post-active, live, and pick our poisons in a society of corporate murder. So this presentation is going to focus more about being pre-active, proactive, post-active, and living. Your body truly is a temple. What you put in it has a huge influence on your quality of life and length of life. So you need to advocate for your own health and wellness because nobody's going to do it for you. So the pictures on the bottom of the slide are things that I'm going to talk about during this seminar. Foods, cigarettes, vapes, medications and drugs, water and water pollution, air and air pollution, skincare products, everyday products, and everyday merchandise. So let's dive on in. How many of you have heard this term? Pick your poisons. I know that I've heard it many times throughout my life, but what does it really mean? So we're going to discuss the different poisons in the world and how to decrease our exposure to them so that we can live healthier and longer lives. Here's a multiple choice question. So after I've listed the possible answers, you pick what you think's correct, and then on the next slide, we'll see if you're right. So which one of the following on our planet do you think contain poisons? A, food, B, cigarettes and vapes, C, drugs and medications, D, water, E, air, F, material products, or G, all of the above. So pick which one you think is right. The correct answer is G. How many of you picked G? So everything on that previous slide was something that has the potential to contain poisons. So now let's talk about how we can limit our exposure to them in our everyday lives. The first stage is being pre-active. So this is the stage of education and planning. We need to educate ourselves about the different types of poisons in the world. And then after we've educated ourselves, then we need to have some sort of a plan to try and limit our exposure to the poisons in our everyday lives. So everything in our surroundings has some sort of toxin or poison. So I've got some pictures at the top of the slide here. We have a nice healthy pink lung. We have a discolored lung. That could be from smoking, air pollution, secondhand smoke. A variety of things could have caused that discoloring. Then on the very right there, we have a blistered lung, and that's from vaping. So inhaling the oils from vapes can cause these blisters to form on your lungs, and that's not a good thing. So first, let's talk about food. The food we eat, whether it be pest spray from the farm, pollutants from the air that have landed on the outside of it, bacteria from the soil where it grows, or contaminants from the processing plant, food has poisons. Food's also being genetically modified, and our bodies don't know how to properly process the modified structures of the molecules that we're eating. So when I'm talking about contaminants on foods at the processing plants too, we're talking about people that haven't washed their hands and they're handling the food. Also the machines that they're using to process the food, they might not be getting cleaned regularly as often as they need to be. Second, we're going to talk about cigarettes, vapes, medications, and drugs. They all contain poisons. I encourage you to do your own research about the harmful toxins that they contain. The body doesn't fully recognize the synthetic, man-made chemical makeup of cigarettes, vapes, medications, and drugs. So it can't process them correctly. It's really hard on the body when the body doesn't know how to ingest and then eliminate the chemical structures of something that's not natural to us. Third, water. We hear more and more every day about people getting cancers from contaminated water. Pollutants are ending up in our oceans and rivers, and pollutants are also seeping into Earth's soils and contaminating the very water that we drink deep in the ground. Fourth, air. The air we breathe is becoming more and more polluted all the time, polluted by car exhaust, varieties of smokes, pollutants from factories. That's just to name a few. Environments with sparse or no plant life have the most poisons and toxins because these environments, like the desert, they don't have enough plant life to filter out the toxins and poisons in the air. Fifth, skincare products. Lotions, deodorants, anything that you apply topically to your skin has the potential to have poisons, and we're going to discuss that farther in the next slide. Sixth, everyday products and everyday merchandise. So here I'm talking about your laundry detergents, the clothing that you wear, basically any material good that you can buy and use. And we're going to discuss that more in the next slide as well. So on the last slide, we talked about how food, cigarettes, vapes, medications, drugs, water, and air contain poisons. Now we're going to talk more about skincare products, everyday products, and merchandise. So skincare products. When you apply these topically to your skin, the body absorbs them. When the body tries to filter them out, it doesn't necessarily recognize the chemical makeup. So the body has to work harder to filter and try to remove them. Everyday products and merchandise. The same applies for everyday products and merchandise, whether it be the perfume from your laundry detergent or the dye in the clothing you wear. These products are in constant contact with your skin every day, and your body's constantly absorbing them and working to filter them out. So how do our bodies get rid of toxins and poisons? Enzymes. Enzymes break down toxins and poisons in our body, and after the enzymes have done their job gobbling up the toxins and poisons, the kidneys and liver get to work filtering them out. So first of all, enzymes speed up chemical reactions in our body, and they help gobble up and eliminate everything that enters the body. Enzymes are involved in digestion, metabolism, cell growth and repair, blood clotting, immune function, hormone regulation, and detoxification. Enzymes keep the body running smooth, ensuring that the body is efficient and effective to maintain health and well-being. So let's look over at this diagram here where enzymes break down substances we ingest or apply topically. So the substance goes into our mouth and it gets distributed all through our intestines, goes through our esophagus and then our stomach. Chemical digestion happens. The intestines absorb whatever we ingested and then distributes it to the rest of our body and eliminates the rest through the colon. And then after the intestines distribute what the body needs, then the kidneys and the liver get to work. So our kidneys filter excess fluid and other substances from the blood. Specifically, it filters ammonia, which is urea, creatinine, electrolytes, toxins, and excess water. And then the liver filters substances from our blood, including alcohol, drugs, pollutants, ammonia or urea, bilirubin, creatinine, excess hormones, damaged hormones, glucose, amino acids, and medications. So this is the process that our body is doing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We got our kidneys and our liver there at the bottom of the diagram. You can see those, and then you can see the circulation system there of how it distributes and then eliminates what it doesn't use. So here is my Pac-Man analogy of how enzymes work in the body. Let's dive deeper into the Pac-Man enzyme analogy in the next slides here. So here in the first photo, we've got Pac-Man's the enzyme. The small dots are digestible substances like normal food and water particles that the enzymes recognize and gobble up. The 4 larger dots are free-floating antioxidants that give the body's enzymes an extra boost in eliminating poisons and toxins out of the body. The ghosts represent drugs, alcohol, vape, medications, and other harmful substances. Anything that our bodies don't recognize as natural are the ghosts. So then here in our second picture, the Pac-Man enzyme here has been activated by an antioxidant large dot. In this state, the Pac-Man enzyme can not only gobble up and eliminate the small dots, the Pac-Man enzyme can also gobble up and eliminate the especially harmful ghosts. Our third picture, as long as our body has enough healthy Pac-Man enzymes and large dot antioxidants, the body will stay healthy and keep eating and eliminating the substances, good or bad, all day, every day. In our first picture here, so how does the body make antioxidants? By eating healthy and nutritious foods. The healthy food graphics that Pac-Man eats turn into more free-floating large dot antioxidants. More large dots in the body equals a healthier immune system, so our bodies can keep defeating and eliminating the ghosts. The goal is to have more healthy enzymes and antioxidants than ghosts in the play area at all times. So the play area meaning our body, the game board. Putting healthy stuff in the body creates more Pac-Mans. So in our next pictures here, what happens when the antioxidants are out of reach for the Pac-Man enzyme to get to? Or the poisonous ghosts start destroying our healthy enzymes. The body may be overtaken by the poison ghosts, and then we can become ill when the ghosts start to overrun the Pac-Mans. So let's look at this animated game board here. So we've got the Pac-Mans are the good enzymes, again, and the ghosts are the bad toxins and poisons. The game board, your body's internal walls, the play area. So we're going to picture the Pac-Man game board walls as your body's internal walls. Putting bad, unhealthy stuff in the body creates more ghosts. We don't want to do that. When the play area has more bad ghosts than good Pac-Mans, the game board starts a war with itself. Pac-Man works to eliminate the ghost before it's too late and he dies, and the ghosts try to take over. So when Pac-Man dies, he explodes like a bomb going off, sending shrapnel into the walls of the game board, like in the animation that we'll see. And in this analogy, the shrapnel becomes new ghosts. More Pac-Mans quickly arrive to gobble up the new ghosts created from the shrapnel and the shards. But if the new Pac-Mans die instead of gobbling up the ghosts, then more ghosts are created and the cycle continues, making an overabundance of ghosts. Each destroyed Pac-Man increases the body's risk of not being able to eliminate all the ghosts. One ghost left uneliminated, can quickly become a multiplying hotbed for sickness or disease in the body's cells. This is why putting only good, healthy stuff in your body is so important. So let's go ahead and watch this animation now. So we've got Pac-Man. He's gobbling up the normal food and water. He's trying to get to the antioxidant large dot, but the ghost just ate him. And now the shrapnel just went into the walls of your body, creating more havoc and more chaos. And that is not good at all. So let's learn how to live the least poisonous as possible. Watch educational documentaries, movies, and television shows to keep up to date with what's working for people and what's not working. One of my favorite documentaries is on YouTube. It's titled Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. It follows a man by the name of Joe Cross who drinks only fresh fruit and vegetable juice for 60 days. After his 60-day juice fast, his body becomes healthy enough to stop all the medications he was taking, and his overall health improved significantly. It's an awesome documentary. I highly recommend watching it, especially if you're trying to be healthier. It might inspire you. And read educational books. Just take in all the information that you can on being healthy. So planning our food. Plan to eat as many fruits and vegetables as possible. Look at these pictures of the human brain. The cerebellum is literally shaped like a leaf. If that isn't the biggest sign of what we should be putting in our bodies, then I don't know what is. We have a diagram of a cerebellum. We have 2 pictures of actual human cerebellums. And then we have a healthy human brain cut in 2 in one picture. And if you look at the picture of the cerebellum in each photo, you'll see it looks exactly like a leaf. I think that's absolutely amazing. That's, to me, the #1 indicator of what we should be putting in our body to be healthy. So more planning. Cigarettes, vapes, medications, and drugs. Try to avoid them at all costs. Your body doesn't recognize these as natural substances and has to work much harder to remove these chemicals from your body. Air. Research the best air filter systems for your needs and purchase them. Your home most likely has an air filtration system. Your car has an air filtration system. And you can buy extra air cleaners for your home if necessary that'll have air filtration systems too. You can make the air in your home cleaner. Water. Research the best water filtration systems for your needs and purchase them. You can get filtration systems for your drinking water. If you have a pool, you can get filters for your pool that will make the water cleaner for your skin. You can get lots of different filters that can make your life a lot less poisonous. Skincare products. Research the best skincare products for you and purchase them. When making decisions about the best skincare products, try to remember to read the ingredient label. Opt for products with minimal ingredients and ingredients that occur naturally in nature. So stuff that you can pronounce. If you can't pronounce it, it probably doesn't grow on a tree or out of the ground. Everyday products and merchandise. When making decisions about everyday products and merchandise to buy, read the labels. Opt for detergents and clothing products that contain the least amount of harmful substances that your body's going to have to filter out. So proactive, this is the next stage. Proactive is what we can do in the here and now today, the present time of our life. We can wash our fruits and vegetables, make sure that all the bacteria is cleaned off of them. We can cook, boil, or peel our food if we're in an unfamiliar place where we don't know if the food or what we're going to put in our bodies is clean. If it's cooked, boiled, or peeled, there's less chance that you might get something bad from it. Eat lean meats, nuts, seeds. Think leaf of the cerebellum. Pick foods that resemble the true sense of nature. Food industries are literally trying to suffocate our bodies from the inside. Getting enough iron every day is crucial. So many foods, especially processed foods, have no iron. Here's an example. This soup can has about 8% net daily iron after subtracting the 2% inhibiting calcium. So calcium inhibits the absorption of iron. So you either want to eat the two separately or make sure the food has more iron than calcium. Without iron, the body can't transport oxygen to our cells, so we suffocate from within. Here's some more food labels that have iron and calcium. So our tricks here, we've got 25% iron, 10% calcium, so you're getting about 15% net iron. Nutella type product here, we've got 6% iron, 4% calcium, so you're getting about 2% net iron. Pop-Tarts, 10% iron, 10% calcium. That pretty much cancels each other out. And then cheese. I know a lot of people like cheese, but if you're going to eat cheese, either make sure that it's with a food that is heavy in iron, has a lot of iron, or just eat it, like by itself, because it's going to either inhibit the absorption of the iron, or it's actually going to put the body in a deficit where the body is not absorbing iron at all, and your cells need that iron to stay oxygenated. Vitamin C helps the body absorb iron. Drink a glass of orange juice a few times a week with a meal if you can. That'll help more oxygen get distributed through the body even more. Drink plenty of filtered water so your body can eliminate toxins and poisons from food. Cleanses. Juice cleanses are a great way to reset your taste buds and give your body a reboot. This is an excellent book on fasting if you want to learn more about the different kinds of fasts. I highly recommend it. You can get it on Amazon. It's called Fasting Firepower, a guide to fasting, detoxification, natural healing, and a mountain moving life by Mari-Jo. And it's got juice cleanses, liver cleanse, grape cleanse, or grape fast. So check it out if you want to learn more about fasting. It's a really good book. We need to exercise to keep our metabolism active. Exercise is important. And sleep. Make sure you're getting adequate sleep every night. This is when the enzymes in the body can be the most productive and help the body heal. While sleeping, a person isn't eating more foods and putting more poisons into the body. And so when you're sleeping, it gives the body that extra time to fix anything internally that might be causing a problem. Making all these active choices every day will help you live as least poisonous as possible. Choose healthy foods, use air ionizers, exercise, choose natural clothing and skin products, get adequate sleep, don't drink alcohol, don't do drugs, don't smoke cigarettes, and don't vape. So what do we do when the poisons are too much for the body to eliminate? So the ghosts have taken over the Pac-Mans. When the poisons are too much for the body to eliminate, that's when the body becomes sick and diseased, especially if the body takes in a life-threatening poison that multiplies too quickly and the body's enzymes can't surround and eliminate it fast enough. When the body's ingested too much poisons, You either get sick or it can turn into other illnesses. Your body will induce a fever and work really hard to remove the virus, bacteria, fungus, etc. within you. It will form cysts and barriers around the invaders in your body and try to eliminate them. This is where acne, pus, cysts, cancer, tumors, similar things like that will begin to form in the body if there's too much poisons. The body will send its enzymatic troops to gobble up the invaders. The barrier around the invader will become bigger and bigger if the illness can't be eliminated. This is when foods may have helped in an earlier phase. If you had eaten the right foods, then you would have had more good enzymes and antioxidants in your body that could have destroyed the invaders quickly. If your body doesn't have enough of the good enzymes and antioxidants, then the invaders will multiply and you'll become sicker and sicker. You can eat very healthy at this point, like a juice fast, and with the right nutrients, and your body should be able to fight off the harmful substances until all the toxins have been destroyed and removed from your body, and you can turn it around and get healthier. In a worst case scenario, there was something you ingested that was not soluble, and that's when it can turn into cancer. For example, internal infection, a solid substance entered your body that was attached to food or the air that you breathed, and the solid substance wasn't able to be broken down by your body's enzymes and removed. So the body's immune system will form a barrier around the solid substance, and a cyst, tumor, cancer, or similar growth will begin to form. There's a really good Dr. Pimple Popper video where a lady got a pencil lead lodged in her hand when she was a young girl. Dr. Pimple Popper removes the pencil lead from the lady's hands decades later and even writes with the pencil lead. So after decades, the pencil lead was still intact in the lady's hand, and Dr. Pimple Popper was able to take that piece of lead and write on it and write on a piece of paper with it. I found that pretty interesting. So look up that video if you're interested in watching it. So an accidental injury is another example. Say you step on a piece of glass and you can't get the fragment out. Your body's enzymatic immune system will create a protective barrier of pus around the piece of glass and try to push it out on its own via the slippery liquid. The piece of glass might slide out on its own, or it might not. If it doesn't slide out on its own, the barrier of infection may get bigger and bigger and become very painful. A doctor may need to intervene at this point. A doctor may need to do a small surgery to remove the piece of glass that the body can eliminate on its own, and you might get antibiotics to help heal the infection. Then there's the awful C word, cancer. If an insoluble substance enters the body and can't be eliminated, it can turn into cancer or tumors, and chemotherapy or surgery might be the only way to intervene. So what do you do after you've ingested so many poisons, you are now sick, or you have cancer or some other disease? So let yourself feel the feelings. Join support groups where you can share your experiences in a non-judgmental environment where people will listen. You can find excellent support groups online. Type search terms for your illness into whatever browser you use and see what populates. If you're a unicorn and no support group exists for you, then create your own support group. There may be people out there with the same thing you have, and they are looking for you, someone that has the same thing they have that they could talk to. Change your habits. Eat healthier. Get 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep so your body can work on healing and repairing itself while you sleep. Don't take medications as a Band-Aid. Demand that the right doctor go in and do what is surgically necessary to remove the diseased part of your body if you keep having the same symptoms month after month, or if something's growing and needs to be taken out, that it can't be eliminated on its own. In summary, pick your poisons. There's a lot of them out there in foods, cigarettes, vapes, medications and drugs, water and water pollution, air and air pollution, skincare products, and everyday merchandise. The takeaway from this seminar that I hope that you got out of it is that picking your poisons is very important. It literally means decide which poisons you want your body to have, and hopefully it can take them in and eliminate them without the poisons killing you. If you have any questions, you can post them in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer any questions that are asked. I hope you enjoyed this seminar and presentation, and go and take a look at your own foods now. And if you smoke cigarettes or you vape or if you take medications or drugs, what your water situation looks like, what your air situation looks like, what your skincare and everyday product and everyday merchandise looks like. See if there's any changes that you can make so that you can live a healthier life. And I hope to see you in my next video. Take care.